Welcome to the Breakdown Files. Every week, we take the stories behind the headlines, the scandals, the collapses, the industries nobody fully explains, and break them down, start to finish, no filler. Today's file: how the Sackler family created the opioid crisis. Let's get into it. Between 1999 and 2021, over 500,000 Americans died from opioid overdoses. That is more than the number of Americans killed in World War II. The crisis did not begin on street corners. It began in a boardroom. A single family, through a single drug, helped ignite the most devastating public health catastrophe in modern American history. The drug was OxyContin. The family was the Sacklers, and for over 2 decades, they knew exactly what they were doing. Purdue Pharma, owned by the Sackler family, launched OxyContin in 1996. It was a powerful opioid painkiller, oxycodone, in a time-release formula. The FDA approved it. The approval was based in part on a single paragraph in a medical journal letter, not a clinical trial, suggesting opioids were rarely addictive when used for pain. Purdue's sales force was trained to tell doctors that OxyContin's time-release formula made it less addictive than other painkillers. This was not true. Purdue knew it was not true. Internal documents later revealed that the company was tracking reports of patients crushing and snorting the pills to get an immediate high and chose not to act. Sales reps were paid bonuses based on the volume of OxyContin they sold. Doctors who prescribed the most were given gifts, dinners, and speaking fees. Between 1996 and 2001, Purdue spent over $200 million marketing OxyContin to physicians. By the early 2000s, OxyContin addiction was devastating communities across rural America. Emergency rooms were overwhelmed, families were destroyed. When patients could no longer afford or obtain OxyContin prescriptions, many turned to heroin, which was cheaper and easier to find. Investigative journalists, state attorneys general, and eventually federal prosecutors began building cases against Purdue. In 2007, Purdue pleaded guilty to misbranding OxyContin and paid $600 million in fines. The Sackler family paid nothing personally. The company continued selling OxyContin. The overdose deaths continued climbing. In 2019, Purdue filed for bankruptcy as thousands of lawsuits from states, cities, and counties converged simultaneously. In 2022, a settlement was reached. Purdue Pharma was dissolved. The Sackler family agreed to pay $6 billion while admitting no personal wrongdoing. No member of the Sackler family has been criminally charged. The family's wealth, accumulated largely through OxyContin sales, is estimated at $11 billion. Museums and universities around the world that had accepted Sackler donations began removing the family name from their buildings. The opioid crisis did not end with the settlement. Fentanyl, a synthetic opioid far more potent than OxyContin, has since overtaken prescription pills as the primary driver of overdose deaths. The fire that Purdue helped start has never been fully put out, and the family that lit it walked away. That is the Sackler Breakdown. If this gave you something to think about, subscribe. We publish a new breakdown every week. Business collapses, tech controversies, true crime, and the hidden mechanics behind industries you interact with every day. And if you made it this far, drop a comment below with the next story you want us to break down. Thanks for watching. We will see you in the next file.